My name is Ermina and I'm from Kazakhstan originally, and I studied illustration and visual media at LCC and I graduated in 2014, and then I went straight to studying a master's degree in animation at the Royal College of Art, and now I'm freelancing and I'm mostly doing animation. I'm mostly inspired by mythology and literature, and basically my practice is very narrative based, so I'm naturally drawn to any kind of storytelling. I like building sort of worlds that are surreal and strange. And when I moved away and my family wasn't around, I felt more in touch with my heritage. Actually, it sparked an interest, and I was doing a lot of research on my own about ancient mythologies and legends. I got my first big commission straight away. It was for Al Jazeera English and was for the Listening Post series. I was commissioned to do a film about Edward Said and about his discussion on Orientalism. And they actually approached me because they saw my work at the graduation show. They contacted me and I got selected to do one of the films. It was a really good experience because I've learned a lot, and it was a bit scary as well at first because it was a huge commission for a huge media network. So I did feel a lot of responsibility doing that, but it went really well, and getting that first commission, I think, was a really good starting point for me as a freelancer. I've always had a style of my own, but I think it developed really drastically during my second year, and I also found a lot of materials that matched my style really well. And I think that was the time as well when I started experimenting with animation myself. And I started off initially with making kind of like paper puppets, but I would scan them and animate them digitally. And because I didn't really have enough confidence to do hand-drawn, and also there was not enough time because it's an illustration course after all, so we had tighter deadlines in comparison to animation courses. One of my favorite materials that I really enjoyed using now, and that I think I've discovered at the LCC, it's really simple actually. It's just a biro pen, which I still use quite a lot, especially in my personal work. And I've realized that the amount of details you can do and shading can be quite intense. I think when there are no constraints and you can enjoy doing your personal projects, you can actually learn something and use it in your commissioned work at some point. My graduation film has traveled to a lot of festivals, and I got to go to places because of that film. After I finished studying, I think I've realized that London is a place where I want to be and settle and work, because I think the city has a lot of energy that gives back, a lot of creative energy especially, and it's just an inspiring place to live in. I really like studying at LCC because I was really lucky with the tutors we had. I think we were given quite high expectations of the work we produce, and we were given really challenging projects as well. For example, we had one project where we had to find a shop that would let us design its display, which was also really difficult, but we were made to face challenges that we would potentially face in the real world, when we work. I've heard about the LCC graduate residency program, and the project that I've pitched was about phrases and idioms from various languages, and my idea was to translate them into English and illustrate and animate the literal translation of those phrases. Some of them are so surreal, or they're nonsensical and they're really funny, or some of them are really obscene. I selected quite a few idioms, and they're from all over the world, from a lot of different languages. There's a French idiom that goes like jumping from a rooster to a donkey. It means changing topics during a conversation without any logic. And yeah, they're quite fun to animate. I know I want to keep doing creative work, and so far I enjoy being a freelancer and I enjoy the flexibility. So ideally I would want to work freelance as long as I'm doing something creative.